Hi, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Anne and this is All the Budgeting. I am on a journey to repair and recover from filing for Chapter 13 bankruptcy in November of 2021, and I'm utilizing a cash envelope budgeting system to help me do that. And so what happens on this channel is I do paycheck cash stuffings, side hustle cash stuffings, cash condensing whenever necessary, and I always close out my budget every month, which includes a net worth calculation. So if that is something that interests you, I do hope that you consider subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing the videos. Really does help me get found in the YouTube algorithm. I am inching closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. I think when I checked this morning, I was around 730. So I'm really hoping to hit that milestone before the end of 2022 so that I can add that income to my side hustle. So thank you for everybody that has subscribed, and for those that haven't, I do hope that you consider subscribing. I am planning to do a giveaway when I do hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, so maybe that'll be an incentive. So okay, so what we're doing today is we are closing out our September budget. We will look at what did I plan for, what actually happened, what did my envelope start with and end with, so how much did I ultimately add, and then of course we will do that net worth calculation. And also because we are now in the last quarter of the year, I will do a quarterly look at my overall debt progress. So that's what we're gonna do today. So if I look at my budget for September, so in terms of income, this is what I planned for, this is what I ended up with. So if we look at our totals here, I planned for a total income of $8,156. I came in about $20 short, so not a big deal. And actually, I'm wondering if I miscalculated. Hold on one second. It is because I think I did. Actually, you know what? I think this number was wrong. Yeah, so let's see. 3928 times 2. Oh, yeah, that was very off. So let me fix that. Oops. So I actually planned for 7,856 and I came in at 8,136. Yeah, that seems more likely. And then in terms of my fixed bills and expenses, the first paycheck I came in a little over, but the second paycheck I came in under. And then of course I had my business bills and expenses, so you can see where that ended up. And then in terms of my spending and revolving funds, they all came in about where I expected them to be, except for my hair. I have hair appointments every 3 weeks, and so I budget to put aside $100 each paycheck, but depending on where those appointments land on the calendar, I don't always have to do that. So that happened in September, so I only put $100 towards my hair appointments in September. So, but then when you add in my business funds, I did come in a little bit over ultimately what I had planned. And then the main thing is my sinking funds. I planned for a total of $670, which is kind of it was the bare minimum. And then, it was the bare minimum, but I was also bulking up my pet care account, so was planning for that. And, but I did come in over that. And that's because I always add any rollover to my next paycheck and put that towards my sinking funds. But I don't count it as income because that would kind of be double counting it. So So, what is that? About 250-ish over what I had planned, which is great. So that's what I'm always kind of looking for, is that I end up being able to save more than that I had planned to. Okay, so now let's go to our monthly closeout pages. I did pre-populate these amounts just to make this a little bit easier, or a little, I didn't want the video to be like an hour long. So let's calculate kind of where we end up with, how much were we over or under what we started the month with. So emergency, I'm exactly the same. I did have to dip into that a little bit. It happens, right? I'm still bulking up a lot of these envelopes so that hopefully I don't have to do that, but it does happen. Okay, extra debt. I started with 155, ended with 235, so that would be an increase of 80. Health, I started with 460, ended with 590, so that would be an increase of 130. Home maintenance started with 15, ended with 60, so that's an increase of 45. Home improvement, I started with 135, ended with 80, so let's see. So that is a decrease of 55. Car maintenance started with 365, ended with 120. I did have a dead battery, so I did have to dig into that. So that was a decrease of 245. But again, when it happened, obviously didn't want that, but I had the money. So it feels great to, be adding to these funds and just letting them build so that when you need them, you have them. Because, pre-cash envelope budgeting, I just would have had to figure out what credit card had room for me to put this on. And I just would have added to my debt. So I cannot say enough about this method of budgeting. Okay, pet care. I started with 175. I ended with 435 because of that bulking up. So let's see. Yeah, so that was an increase of 260. Electronics started with 155, ended with 200. That's an increase of 45. Extra week started with 390, ended with 435. So also an increase of 45. Subscriptions started with 445, ended with 515. So that's an increase of 70. Vacation started with 105, ended with 150, so increase of 45. Christmas started with 180, ended with 225. I think that's 45, but yep. Okay, so increase of 45. Holiday dinner started with 140, ended with 160, so increase of 20. Gifts started with 45, ended with 65, increase of 20. Entertainment started with 55, ended with 70, so increase of 15. Clothes started with 10, ended with 30, so increase of 20. And then beauty started with 65, ended with 85, so also an increase of 20. Okay, miscellaneous started with 10, ended with 30, increase of 20. New car and new house both started with 145, ended with 165. Planner stuff started with 130, ended with 160, so increase of 30 there. Taxes started with 7, so these are my two business envelopes. Taxes started with 779, ended with 894. So that's an increase of 115. And then subscriptions started with 291, ended with 275 because I did actually pay a new subscription So that was a decrease of 16. Okay, and so my total starting balances at the beginning of the month was $5,745. So I'll speed this part up, I think, and let me total all of these and we'll get the new total. Okay, so I am ending with a total of $6,494, which is an increase then of $749. So not bad at all. Okay, so now I am going to grab this amount because the next thing that I'm going to do is my net worth calculation. And so I need to bring this into, oh gosh. The lasso tool is a little tricky when it's handwriting. So let me do a better job of capturing all of that. There we go. Okay, so my net worth. So last month, my net worth was $71,879. I have pre-populated all of my totals, and this was as of this morning. So as, you know, up to date as I possibly could get it. So first, let's go through my assets. So we just calculated my total in my envelopes is $6,494. I'm estimating my house value to be about $215,000, and that's just based on looking at listings for similar places in my area. Okay, so this isn't like a legit appraisal or anything like that. It's just based on what other homes are going for. My car, based on Kelley Blue Book, has a trade-in value right now of approximately $25,656. And then my 401k balance really decreased over this month. This market is just so volatile. And so currently it has a value of $48,781. And I've mentioned this before. I know that this is not enough to retire on. I'm not going to stress out about this too much because I'm not trying to pull out of this. I'm, consistently contributing. I am contributing so that I get the max from my company. Once I am through the bankruptcy, then I will shift my focus to more aggressively saving for my retirement. And that's also why I'm also looking to add passive income streams and things like that so that it's not just my full-time income. But it is what it is, and so if you're watching this and you're, younger, save for your retirement consistently starting now. Don't make the mistakes that I made. So, all right, so let's total up the assets. So 6,494 plus 215,000 plus 25,656 plus 48,781. And so that is a total of 295,931. And yeah, that's at least 5,000 less than it was last month, because I remember that was my total assets were about 300,000. So yeah, that really took a dive. And so I messed up once before, so I'm just gonna double count these just to be safe. $295,931. Yep. Okay. All right, so now over to the liabilities. So these are my current balances on all of these different debts. So my bankruptcy, my current total is $77,355. My AC unit, I currently owe $8,274. My mortgage currently owe $129,670. My car loan, $9,105, and my medical debt, $796. So let's total this up. Okay, so it looks like my total liabilities is $225,200, but let's double count this. Yep. Okay, so now to get my new net worth, I'm going to subtract the liabilities from the assets. So just 295, 931 minus 225, 200. Oops. Oh gosh, hold on. Yeah, so as expected, my net worth did dip down just a bit. So my new net worth is $70,731. So let's see what the difference is. So I'm going to subtract this net worth from, well, let me think how this should work. I'm going to subtract, I think, last month from this month. Yeah, so I'll have a negative number. 879 minus, no, it's the other way around. I'm subtracting this last month from this month. Sorry. 7731 minus 71,879. Yeah, so that is a decrease of $1,148. And then I'm not sure if this is going to work right. To get a percentage, I'm going to divide that by this amount. Okay, yeah, so that is, oh my goodness, I'm a mess this morning. So that is, it went down by 2%. So, you know, you don't like to see that, but it happens, right? It is the way it is, but the positive is that I still do have a net worth of $70,000. So not horrible by any means. Okay, so now let's take a look at my debt payoff. This is because this is the, end of Q3. So let's take a look at my debt payoff plan. And so what I do is I kind of track, what do I estimate? And then what actually happens? So what do I estimate to start the month with? What do I estimate my payment, or not necessarily my payment, but how much will the balance go down each month? And then, so what do I estimate my ending to be? And then what are the actuals, right? So for my medical debt, there's really no difference because right now I'm not putting any extra to it. So I don't get charged interest. So my monthly payment is $25. And so I'm not really going to see any difference. Because I'm not putting aside anything extra. So that means that my Q3 total, oh my goodness. There we go. What I'm estimating to end the year with is the same from Q2 to Q3. I'm estimating to close out the year with a balance of $721 for my medical debt. And for most of my debts, it is going to be that way. I think there's just two that are going to be varied at all. Okay, so now we're on to my AC unit. Okay, so in September, I did estimate to start the month with a balance of 8,570, and that is what I ended up with. I estimated my payment to be 268, but I actually ended up decreasing my balance by 296 because I did pay off my phone. I am taking about $28 of what I that phone payment was, and I'm putting it towards my AC unit because that's my next priority. So I did actually decrease by 298. You can see I also decreased it by a little bit more here, but that was kind of a in between what I was going to be able to put in. So I wanted to wait until this month because this is what I will feel confident will be the amount that it will go down by every month now, or more. Okay, but at least that amount. Okay, so then I estimated to close out the month with a balance of 8,302, but I actually came in lower than that. So what I'm going to do is use now this amount to calculate what's going to happen for the rest of the year. So I might speed this up a little bit, just not so I don't bore you guys. So I'll come back in just a sec. Okay, so you can see that I am actually, looks like I'm going to end the year less than what I had planned or what I had anticipated at the end of Q2. My goodness. There we go. So now I'm looking like I will, oh my gosh. It's not even that early in the morning on Saturday, but I am just struggling. Okay, so now it's looking like for my AC unit, I should close out the year with a balance of 7,386. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk more about this. I am actually anticipating that that's going to be a lot less. So we'll talk more about that in just a second. Okay, so now on to my car. So in September, I estimated that I would start the month with a balance of 9,616, and that's what happened. I estimated that my balance would go down by 509. It actually went down by 511. So I estimated that I would close the month with a balance of 9,107, and I ended up just a couple dollars less than that. So once again, I'll use this amount now to calculate where I think I might be at the end of the month. So once again, I'll speed this part up and we'll come back and see what my new total is going to be. Okay, so you can see that I am actually looking like I will end the year a little bit under where I thought I would be at the end of Q2. That is always good. All right, and so now the last one is bankruptcy, and this one, because I'm not currently putting any extra money towards it, we're not going to have any differences. But so you can see in September, started the month with a balance of 79,275. My normal payment is 1,920, and with bankruptcy, you're not charged any interest, so that all goes towards the balance, with the exception of some fees, but that's worked into the total. So some fees to the trustee who kind of manages the bankruptcy. Okay, so then ended the month with $77,355. And so I'm still anticipating at the end of this year to end with a balance of $71,595. And hopefully next year we'll start to see that, be able to put more towards that. Okay, so from here I want to show you my debt snowball plan. I've showed this to you before. So I just have an Excel sheet and just kind of calculate with adding in extra payments, what does that mean? Okay, so I will be bulking up some of my priority funds, I believe through February is when I have kind of calculated that. All right, those funds then will be where I want them to be. And then now I would put anything extra towards my debt, because with my raise from my promotion in, what was that, March, I have an extra, I think it's $310 every month that I, can put towards this debt. So right now, like I said, it is going to bulking up different funds, but starting in March, I should be able to start putting it towards extra debt. Now I have already started, like I said earlier, adding my phone, part of what was going to my phone payment to my AC unit. So that has already started. But then in March, I'll be able to put even more towards it. So the balance that I have here for my AC unit, you'll notice that it's less than what I, have in my tracker. And that's because if I pay this off by June or July, which is absolutely the goal, that is what I'm working for, I will save 30%. So I've actually, for this purpose, deducted 30% from my total. It's just what works for me. So, so you can see that if I didn't make any extra payments, I would plan to pay that off in July of 2025. Now that's not actually accurate because I wouldn't be getting the 30% savings, but again, this is what works for me. But with the extra money, right now it's looking like I would pay this off in September. So again, that is past the point that I would get 30% off. So I definitely, it cannot go till then. So what I was saying earlier with why I think that this amount is going to go down significantly before the end of the year, my balance, is because I typically do get a bonus in November of every year. The percentage is variable. I typically can count on around 5%. Okay, so I'm not going to spend that money yet, right? But that is what I typically can, count on. And so if I do get a 5% bonus, so that's 5% of my annual salary, then I'll need to use some of that to pay for the balance of what I need for Christmas gifts and holiday dinner. Okay, but that, would be 1,000, maybe a little less than 1,000. So I am hopeful that I will be able to put a minimum of $3,000 from my bonus against my AC unit. Okay, obviously if I get more, I'll put more towards it. And if I am able to do that, then obviously that'll bring the balance before the end of the year way down. And then I should have no issue paying that unit off well before I need to get that 30% off. So fingers crossed. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't get it. I think the company has had a really good year, so I'm sure bonuses will be what they typically are. But those things I personally never ever bank on it, right? I have a plan for it, but I never count on it, if that makes sense. Okay, so hopefully that'll be off, sooner than that. So then my medical debt should be able to get paid right now. It's looking like October of 2023. Of course, if the AC unit gets paid sooner, then that money goes towards the debt, and that money goes then towards the medical debt. So hopefully sooner than that. Then the next debt that I would work on is my car. Right now, it's looking like I will have that paid off next December, which means then that my bankruptcy would be all paid by April of 2025. Now, I am in a 5-year repayment plan. I filed in November of 2021, so that would be November of 2026. So this would be about a year and a half early, or 3.5 years. I really, really want to pay this bankruptcy off in 3 years or less. So that means I need to increase my side hustle income. I need to pay these debts off sooner and all of that. I think it's definitely achievable because it's close right now. It's only about, half a year more. So I think I can definitely bring that down. So I do just like to show you this on a quarterly basis, just so you can see where I'm at. So we'll see where we're at the end of the year. Okay, so now let's jump ahead and take a look at the budget for October. And you guys really seem to like when the video I did, the budget with me, where I really broke down that paycheck budget and showed you how I figured out what goes into each envelope and all that kind of stuff. So I'll do that again. Again, you guys really seem to like it. That video got a lot of views. So if it's something that you guys like to see and it's helpful, then I'm happy to do it. Okay, so for October, it's pretty basic. I'm expecting, my standard paycheck, $3,928. So that's a total of $7,856. For my fixed bills and expenses, for my first paycheck, I'm looking at about $3,118. Second paycheck, $3,108, which would be a total of $6,226, leaving me $1,630 to stuff. My fixed bills and expenses, not really seeing anything different than my standard, which would be a total of $1,430, which means at minimum, I should have $200 for the month to put into my sinking funds. Again, I do add any rollover, so I do typically put more in, but if I don't have any rollover, right, at minimum, I'm putting $200 into my sinking funds, and pretty even distribution. Extra debt gets $20. Everything else gets $10, and that equals $200. So, okay, so hopefully you guys found this helpful. I do like to see the progress. Again, even though my net worth did go down a bit this month, I'm not too down about it, because it is what it is, and it's still, like I said, I still have a net worth of $70,000. I started the year with a negative net worth, so I consider that pretty great progress. I'll be really interested to see what I end the year with, and just continue again to work on building my side hustle income and all of that. So I am planning, I think I mentioned this in a video 1 or 2 videos ago, I can't remember. I am planning to start offering my envelopes that I make, and the trackers, and the cash breakdown slips that you would take to the bank. I am planning to start offering those as physical products as well, as printable. I just kind of need to get set up and get pictures taken and get them all made and all that kind of stuff, so that I have pictures to take. So it may be a little bit yet before I do that, but I'm still offering the printable options. I am also redoing a lot of my listings, and I'm looking into how to better promote my items, like using Pinterest and all that kind of, and Instagram. And I haven't been great about doing all that. So I definitely want to focus more on doing that to, again, just drive more traffic to those sites. I am thinking about also creating a Shopify store for my items, as well as Etsy, and really driving more traffic to Shopify, because I know a lot of you probably have Etsy shops. You guys know the fees are crazy. So the downside is with, Shopify, like, it's really more on you driving the traffic. So I think I will probably do both concurrently, but definitely looking at opening a Shopify store and driving most of my traffic there. So yeah, a lot that I'm thinking of. Also looking into affiliate marketing and stuff like that. Just always looking for ways to add more side hustle income. So, okay, so next up will be my first paycheck stuffing for the month of October. And again, I will do that budget with me for that paycheck as well. And there'll be 2 separate videos. They might come out the same day, or maybe the budget with me will come out on Sunday and then the paycheck stuffing come out on Monday, because I do need to do those separately, because obviously I need to break that down in order to know how much I need to get out of the bank, and then I stuff the envelopes that way. So they do have to be 2 separate videos. So that's coming at you next week. Happy October. I don't know what happened to September. It just vanished. But it's October. The leaves are turning. The air is crisp and cool. My thoughts and prayers are out there to everybody that was in Hurricane Ian's path. I hope that if you were affected, it wasn't catastrophic, and that was just devastating, and it's still happening as I film this. But yeah, just my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody affected. I have a sister in North Carolina on the coast. Fortunately, she was just beyond Ian's path, so I'm sure they did get some remnants of the weather, and probably still are, but at least they weren't right in the path. So I'm thankful for that, but I know that there were many people just absolutely devastated by it. So just know that I am praying for all of you. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.